I'm joined today by Josh Preville. He is a filmmaker, mentalist, and author whose third documentary, Losing God, is currently in production. Josh, great to have you. Tell us a little bit about your background as it comes to religion and about this documentary.
Sure, David. Thanks for having me on. Basically, I have most of my life, I was raised as a Pentecostal Christian. So pretty hardcore, speaking in tongues, slaying in the spirit, that whole thing. Also, I was homeschooled and then Christian school. Finally went to a public high school. So religion was pretty much my entire life. All my friends, who knew about an atheist? What is that? Um, and that was my life, and I believed completely fundamentalist Bible hardcore. And basically, that's a very short version of my background in religion.
So, hey, when
As
you went to the public high school after having been homeschooled and then Christian schooled, what was it like sitting in science class, for example?
Yeah, well, it's funny. The whole, evolution, intelligent design thing. Evolution wasn't a big part of my curriculum that I was really covered until, I got to college pretty much. I guess different schools will do it differently curriculum-wise, but for me, I just kind of went along with everything, knowing that it was God and intelligent design, that all the stuff that we did kind of just graze over. None of it was accurate. I knew that, which obviously, a little different now, but
So you
at
would
the
sit there and you would hear it. You knew that it wasn't really what you believed. You knew it was really God who had designed everything. But for the purposes of like fitting in and doing well in class, you kind of played along.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So then at a certain point, you decide to leave Christianity.
Yeah, it really happened over, I guess, a 2-year period. Um, Being a mentalist and a performer, I was big in the skeptic community. I followed a lot of, the big names, James Randi, Michael Shermer, those kind of guys.
Right.
And, I didn't believe in psychics and that kind of stuff, but never questioned God, because why would I? That's my life. I believe everything. Why question it at all? And one day I actually found a video where James Randi was talking about how he's an atheist. And I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. How could he be an atheist? And then I started researching what an atheist is, or what could possibly come against, the Bible and that kind of stuff. And it really ended up being a process where I stumbled across Christopher Hitchens, and he made total sense. And roughly about 2 years, I, grew into looking for answers myself, not just taking it from leadership and believing it based off their word. I actually really researched it on my own.
And then ultimately you left Christianity and you notified your family how. Tell us about that process.
Yeah, well, it's funny because most of my family is religious. Very few. One of them I didn't even realize wasn't religious until after I kind of publicly came out, if you will, as an atheist. I wrote a letter to kind of sum everything up because many of them, when I mentioned it, were very confused. Is this Satan worship? What is this? Some of them get angry. I mean, I've had it a lot better though than most people. I'll give you that. I've read some stories of other people who, their family abandoned them basically. Easter didn't go well, the first Easter as an atheist, because someone had brought accusations against me towards how I'm wrong and this and this. So I just replied to them, and it turned out I was supposed to just be quiet and listen to everybody, and I couldn't have my own say. Now, thankfully, most of my family has moved through this with me because of this film, this project I'm doing. I wrote them a letter, and the letter actually kind of grew into the film. The film has kind of changed, and I guess now everyone's kind of dealing with it, even if they don't agree.
But so this
Um,
is really, for a religious family, this is a big deal, right? When
oh
Josh
yeah.
is now no longer speaking in tongues and believing the stuff we believe, this is like a big deal. This isn't just you have a disagreement over a movie that you liked and somebody else didn't.
Oh yeah, very big deal. And it was really hard, I'd have to say, for my grandmother. She's been a Catholic her whole life, and I'm really close with my grandmother.
Hmm.
And for her, it brought her shame, is the words that she used. And that's really heartbreaking to sit
Yeah.
down with my grandmother, talk about it, and make, feel bad for her because she feels shame out of this. I'm just trying to be who I am. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of difficult, but we're growing together, and they love me and I love them. That's what's important.
Let's talk a little bit about the documentary. It is called Losing God. I want to play one clip here, and this is one where you decide to take the question to people, to believers, to Christian believers, and say, would you sacrifice one of your own children or grandchildren in one case if you believe that that's what God wanted you to do? Let's take a look at that.
I have one boy and 5 girls.
So if God asked you to sacrifice one of your children, would you do it?
I can't answer you right now because I don't know what the circumstances would be. But my heart is that yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad God is God, because I ain't giving up my kid for nobody. Okay, and it's really that simple.
If God told you to sacrifice your daughter, would you do it?
If I knew it was God doing it, yes. Okay, but see, that's a very Old Testament argument. Okay, and that's why I love Jesus, because Jesus did it for me. So it's one of these,
How many children do you have?
Altogether, my family's made up of 28.
And grandkids included, or?
Yeah, 21 about 26.
In the Bible, God told Abraham to kill his son, and then stopped him before he did it.
Stopped him, didn't he?
Right, but what if God told you to kill either one of your children or your grandchildren? What would you say, or what would you do?
I'm not Abraham.
So what if he told you to do it?
That'd be hard, but if that's what God wanted. Because I don't believe in when we die, that's it.
So tell us a little bit about how you came up with this question and what the goal of including this question was, and whether you were surprised by some of the answers or whether they made sense to you given your background as a Christian.
Sure. I want to state before we even get into that everyone in this movie, with the exception of one guy that didn't end up being in the movie, he was a pastor that was with the street preacher that you see. He didn't want to be in it. But in the long run, I want to say they're all great people, and they're genuine people, and they care about me and all the unbelievers out there. But the reason I brought this question up is because I consider that train of thought to be harmful, to take the leap to say, yes, I would kill my child if God told me to. I think it's very harmful. And I don't think that many believers realize how extreme that is, that viewpoint, because you're in that belief system. That's what you're following. And I think that's important to put in there,
and I don't think most believers of any religion have that extreme a train of thought. I mean, that to me is very, very extreme. Knowing people who are of different grades of religiosity across many, many religions, to find people that would say, if I really believed God wanted me to kill my kid, I would kill the kid rather than question why God wants me to do that. We're talking about the fringes here, aren't we?
Well, I think that's another point that's been brought up by a lot of believers. I have a strong internet presence with a lot of people. I engage in open dialogue.
Yeah, and I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. If I'm just wrong, right, you tell me.
Right, and I think that a lot of believers have come to me on the internet and have said, listen, this doesn't represent my view of Christianity, how I believe.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think it's important because I think it represents a large group of people. I mean, these people are people from my hometown. I knew some of them previously. Some of them I met through the film. And these are, the street preacher was in the center of my hometown.
And what town is this, just so everybody knows?
Just Leominster, Massachusetts, a little town in Massachusetts.
Okay, so only about an hour. We were based in Northampton, Massachusetts, so I'm very familiar with Leominster, and it's not a place you would think of as a kind of religious bastion, although central Massachusetts is the most conservative part of the state.
Right, no, exactly. I mean, you summed that up right there. And these are real people. Like I said, I love these people. They love me. They're good people. But I think that their belief may have pushed them a little too far in their thinking. That's just my personal view. I may have said the same thing a few years ago. I don't know. I don't have any kids, obviously. But I think that's important to think about. I think the point of this film, too, is open dialogue and think for yourself. Think about what you're doing and where your belief is taking you.
All right, so Josh, how can people, what's the status of the movie? When is the release? How can people get it?
Sure. It's funny. We did a small Indiegogo campaign, a fundraiser. Hemet Meta of the Friendly Atheist picked it up. A few other sources have picked it up, and they shared it. We didn't meet our goal nearly at all. We had a very large goal. But it's funny. We actually got some equipment that we needed. The main reason we raised the money. This equipment was donated by a believer. A believer donated to us to use in the film. So, that's just a little tidbit right there. But basically, right now it's still in post-production. We're not fully completed. We're shooting within the next month or two. It will be done. It will be a DVD release online. You can find it through my website. We may do an online rental. If you go to, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you can really keep updated with that kind of stuff. Go to my website, joshpreville.com. And we'll be posting updates as we get more information.
All right, we're going to keep on it. Josh Preville, the documentary is called Losing God, approaching its release. It's very, very exciting. Keep up the great work, Josh. Great to have you on.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me.